let's talk a little bit about our last topic. So in our last lesson, we had an interesting discussion about social media and social networking. We talked about the changes in our society because of social networking and social media. We also talked about this study done on the effect of social media and social networking on children and teenagers. And some of the statistics are not very good, maybe not very optimistic. So we talked about this. We talked about the problem of loneliness many teenage boys in the UK suffer from. So this is a big problem. We talked about it. And we also answered the questions here about the article. We checked some vocab related to computers and social networking, like, for example, update, download, upload, forums, tweeting, following, sending links and all of this. But in today's topic, we want to talk a little more about vocab or vocabulary. So here we can say 3 different patterns in the way we use articles. So you can either use a, an, or you can use the, or you can use no article, depending on the situation. So what we're going to do in this exercise in number 4, it says, look at the words and phrases in blue in the article, match one phrase to each of these rules. So let me show you the 3 rules. So the first rule is using a or an. The second one is using the third one is not using an article. And of course here, there are certain situations for each rule. So in each rule, we have three different situations or 3 different conditions. So this means maybe it's better if I show you both pages together. This way you can also see the article at the same time. Okay, so this way we can move up and down. Okay, so let's start with the first rule. So the first rule is a and an. So what we're gonna do is focus on any word which has a or an. So we're looking for a and an. This is what we're looking for, okay? A or an, and it has to be a blue word. So these are the 2 other situations where we use a and an. So we can use it when we're talking about jobs or to talk about a person or a thing for the first time. So this means let's look in the article for a blue word that has a or an, that's talking about a job, or that's talking about something mentioned for the first time. Can you find any jobs here? Let's start from the beginning.
Yes. No, there is a new person.
A new person. Okay, so what is this? Is it a job, or is it talking about a thing or a person for the first time?
Thing for the first time.
Yeah, first time.
Okay, that's correct. So this is C. Okay. What about jobs? We need to look for a job.
A designer.
Right, that's correct. That's right. Yeah. So this means we found a job, and we found a person or something, a thing or a person that we're talking about for the first time. Okay, so this is how we can use a or an. All right, now let's talk about the. So I need you to look at the blue words which have the. So we have 4 situations. The large, what is the largest? صح, the largest, but which condition is it? D, E, F, or G? Which one? The largest?
With the superlative.
That's G. Right. The largest is a superlative, right? G. Okay. Okay, so we found G. That's good. خلينا نشوف الثانية. Let's take a look. So we have the person.
The person means the person mentioned before.
Yes, the second time.
The second time, this is D, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the same
Yeah.
thing or the same person, but for a second or a third or a fourth time, we start using the. We don't use a or an anymore. Correct. So we found G and we found D. We still have E and F.
Okay.
The UK, I
The
think.
UK, correct, you're right. But the
It's
UK,
countries.
that's it.
Countries.
But not any country. It says countries that are groups of islands or states. So we cannot say the Libya.
Like the USA.
We cannot say the Italy, the Egypt. We cannot do
No,
that.
no.
But we can do it for the UK because it's a group of states.
The United,
Yes.
The United Kingdom, the United States. Because in the UK we have England, we have Scotland, we have Wales, we have Northern Ireland. We have 4 together. They call them the United Kingdom. In the States, it's the same thing, United States. All right. Okay, so we found D.
And even there is an Arabic.
The UAE.
Yes.
United Arab
UAE.
Emirates. The UAE. Correct. That's right. We also use it in some Arab countries. All right, so we found this. So this means let's check our list. So we found G, superlative. We found D, talking about the same thing for the second time. We found F. So here we need to look for the that's used when there is only one item, or that when there is only one in a particular place. Let's go back to the article and let's look.
What's the meaning this?
It means this is a unique item. So there's only one of it.
Unique item.
So like, can you see it?
Something special, not.
So it means we don't have other of these.
Yes.
The internet.
The internet. So how many internets do we have? Just one. We don't
Just
have
only
don't
one.
have internets. It's just one. It's like when you talk about the Earth or the moon.
Specific thing, yeah.
Because you don't have many Earths. You don't have many moons. You have just واحد بس.
Yeah. The
So,
sun.
the sun, exactly. In these unique situations, we sometimes use the. All right, so now we found 4 different ways or 4 different cases where we need to use the article the. All right, now let's look for 3 situations where we don't use an article. No article. No a, no the, no an, nothing. Just
Society.
Society. Correct. But let's see, what is this? When we say society, is it a town, a city, or a country?
No, for some public place.
Yes.
Is it a public place, like a hospital or a school? Is it a place?
No.
Yeah.
Talk about thing in general.
That's it. If we're talking about something in general, or if we're talking about people in general, then you don't need an article. So we're speaking generally. Correct. Okay, now we have, what's this?
School.
School, but there's no article, right?
Yes.
So what? So let's see the condition here.
Schools
Yes. J.
School.
Yeah.
That's it.
For some public places.
Yes. So here we're talking about a public place, but there's a condition here when we talk about what they are used for in general. So if you say, for example, many children hate going to school. So here, when we say hate going to school, we don't mean the problem is with the building. We're talking about the issue that students don't like to study. Children don't like to study. You get the idea? But if you say, for example, the school was painted, here we need to use the, because we're speaking about a specific school, not school بالمعنى التعليمي. ما نتكلموش على التعليم احنا المدرسي، نتكلم عن المبنى هذا كمبنى. You get the idea? يعني هذا ليش عاطينها لكم في نقطة هنا. They're saying that it has to be used in the way that this place is designed for. هي هذه الفكرة. يعني ما نتكلموش عليه كمبنى، في فرق. If you're talking about it as a building بتختلف القصة. لكن هنا احنا ما نتكلموش عليه كbuilding, just as a كمؤسسة يعني. As an institution or an establishment. Alright, معناها فضلت لنا آخر واحدة for most towns, cities, countries and
Yeah,
continents.
Egypt.
Egypt, yeah, because this is the only one left. So, all right, so do you get the idea? So here we have slightly more specific cases or situations where you need to use an article, an, or when you need to use the, or in some situations where you don't use anything at all. So before we move on, I think it's a good idea to take a look at the summary. You know, maybe there's an interesting point we can check, but let me just return the page to one page. Okay, so page 143, let's take a look. 16. Okay, so here it is. This is what we were talking about. So here we just have the answers. مفيش حاجة جديدة. So we use an. I think I zoomed in too much. Okay, that's it. All right, just the answers. Nothing new, nothing new, nothing new. Okay, let's take a tip. هذه اللي كنت نقول فيها النقطة هذه. Can you see this tip here? Hajar, can you please read this tip for us? What is it trying to say, this tip?
Okay. We use that with the public place when we talk about the building. She works in the school opposite the park. He's gone to the hospital to visit his father.
Right, so you can see here in both examples we use the, right? The hospital and the school, because we're not speaking about school and hospitals in the normal sense, like a school for
specific school.
Yes, we're talking about a specific school. So she works in the school opposite the park. It means there are other schools. And he's gone to the hospital to visit his father. But it's different from saying I work in, for example, I hate hospitals. If I say I hate hospitals, or Ahmed loves hospitals, or Ahmed loves working in hospitals, لاحظي في الأمثلة هذه ما استعملناش ذا. Ahmed loves working in hospitals. Because we're talking about hospitals بالمعنى التقليدي اللي هو مكان للعلاج. But if we're talking about the building, قصة مختلفة, okay? هذه بس الملحوظة، ما فيش ملحوظات ثانية. Let me take a look. Yeah, here nothing else. So this is the only tip. So now we have an article. Sorry, we have another question. So in this question, it says, look at the words in pink and match them to the rules. There is only one word, one phrase. All right, so this means we have to return back the two-page view. باش نقدر نشوفهم الزوز مع بعض. Okay, here it is. So خلي resume. Okay, so خلينا نشرح لكم سؤال number 5 شنو مطلوب. In number 5, in question number 5, we want to do exactly the same thing we did in number 4, right? But in number 4, we looked for the blue words and we matched them to each way we can use a or an, the, or not use any article, right? We want to do exactly the same thing with the pink words. Okay, so for every pink word, we're using it in one of these different ways, from A to J. All right, and remember, there's only one word for each rule or for each case. Do you get the idea? So this means, let's start with the first pink word we have, an hour. So it's clear that an hour is from rule number 1. أول واحدة. So this means يا إما A, يا إما B, يا إما C. What do you think?
A, I think.
That's right.
Same a day.
Exactly. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're using
hour.
it. Yeah. So in this way, we're using an hour to mean something, whether we don't know or it isn't important which one. Any hour. ساعة وخلاص. Doesn't matter. Okay. So this is A. The USA.
With the article the
Yeah.
and with countries that are groups.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
F. So this means the USA goes with rule F. Rule F.
For
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
a group of islands. Yeah.
Group of islands, for example, the UK is a group of islands because we have England and Scotland,
it's a
one
group of
island.
states.
No, the UK is also an island. The UK. Irlanda, Northern Ireland.
About USA.
You're talking about the USA. USA is a group of states,
yeah.
not a group of islands.
Just group of states.
Yeah. عندك مثلا the Bahamas. Bahamas مجموعة جزر. Bahamas. جزر البهاما.
Yeah.
The Maldives. The Maldives مجموعة جزر. شو تاني عندنا مجموعة جزر اللي يسموا فيهم بذا. There are other examples, but these are the only two I can think of. Okay, so the USA, country. Children. Children, no article. But which rule?
Group. General.
Yeah.
Yes. We're talking about people or things in general.
Yes.
I. We're speaking about children generally. ما فيش حاجة معينة. Children وخلاص.
Yeah.
All right, very nice. A children's charity. A children's charity. And after that, pay attention. The charity. Do you get the idea? Do you see what's happening here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the charity. Yeah.
The charity.
Specific building. Yes.
What do you think, Sana? So we have a children's charity. The first time we used a.
Oh, yeah. That means the second mention.
Exactly.
Second time.
Yeah.
So the next one, which is the charity, this means this is the second time we're using it.
Yeah.
So D. But what about the first one? A children's charity.
First one.
The first
would go
time.
with
The first
C.
time. Talk it with the
C.
first time.
C. Correct.
Yes.
You're talking about a person or a thing for the first time. A children's charity is C. Correct? Okay, so children's charity. What about university? A third of people at university.
No article.
No article.
It's a place. It's a public place.
That's it.
It's a public place.
Yeah. Part rule J, public place. And we're talking about it in the classical normal way at university. We're not talking about a specific university. جامعة بصفة عامة كمؤسسة الجامعة. This is the idea. All right, good. So here we have Dublin. This is easy, I think. Dublin, no article. Like Egypt. H, exactly. Yeah. So most cities, most towns, most countries, فيهمش article.
Yes.
An engineer. This is also easy, I think. An engineer, it's a job. So we use
B.
A and an for jobs. This is B. Okay, tamam. Then we have the most amazing. The most amazing.
Superlative. Yes.
It's a superlative. Correct. Rule G. The most amazing and the superlative. Very nice. أعتقد فضلت آخر واحدة. The world.
An equal thing.
The world, the world is like the internet.
Yes, the sun. The
sun.
Yes, when there is only one.
There is only one. It's a unique thing. It's a unique item. There's only one. Correct. All right. So this is just, they're trying to get you to understand when to use these articles, how to use them, and the different situations.
Yes, it's like this article, and it's easy when like this exercise. It's easy, but it's the difficult one when there is empty fill the gaps and
Mm.
put it the a and n and that. This is I think main confuse one.
And this is exactly what you're going to do, I think, in the next exercise. لا مش مدايرينكم منه، لكن في الورك بوك حتلقي لي the one you're talking about.
Okay.
سنة.
But
You'll find it.
I think it's easy because you don't have to remember why you use that or a or an here.
Mhm.
But just put the article. think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
easy.
Here it's also easy because you don't, like Sana said, we don't have to think of it ourselves. We just need to match the use with the rule. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's not too hard this way, but it's a bit harder when you're the one who's speaking and you have to think, should I say that? Should I say what should I say? Or when you're writing and you don't know, is there a the here? Is there no article? It can be a little منهم المواضيع اللي, it's easy to make mistakes in articles because they don't translate. الاشياء اللي ما تترجمش هم اللي يصير فيها عادة يصير فيها بعض الأخطاء، لأن مش ما تتبعش في نفس الأنماط اللي هي النكرة والمعرفة اللي عندنا إحنا في العربي مثلا، مش نفس الشيء. So it can be a little tricky. It's easy, but it's easy to make mistakes as well. This is what I
Even
think.
before, when I was in courses, I don't like this the article.
But
When
now you like them, right?
It's, if the sentence is clear and it's okay, if it's job or something, I will okay. But then sometimes we will confuse me. That's why.
Yeah, I think if you want an easy rule بالنسبة لي ذا ديما تفكري أن تاني مرة بتتكلمي عن نفس الشيء ذا خلاص. هذه يمكن أكثر استعمال لذا في اللغة الإنجليزية. عادة لما في ذا ديما تلاقيه متكلم على الشيء قبل. مثلا I like cars and my brother bought a blue car and I always like to clean this car and the car is great, the car is fast. خلاص بيبدأ ديما ذا car لأن عرف ولت أصبحت معرفة خلاص معروفة ما عادش نكرة. So هذه ممكن أكثر استعمال شائع لذا.
حتى لما حاجة واحدة بس.
Yes, the internet, the world. It's easy to remember. I think the air is clean in the forest, near the forest. مثلا. Yes, that's correct. Okay, now we're gonna do a bit of listening. It says here, look at the photo of 3 work colleagues. So we have Jenny, Simon, and Gary. So let's take a look at the photo first. So here they are. So this is Jenny, this is Gary, and this is Simon. So these 3 are work colleagues. So they work together at the same company maybe, or at the same office, I don't know. Anyways, so it says here, listen to them talking about how they use social networking sites, and then put the topics they talk about in the order they talk about them. So they're gonna cover these 6 points. They're gonna talk about videos on YouTube. They will also discuss how Jenny uses Facebook, today's office meeting, Twitter and tweeting, number of Facebook friends, and how often Simon goes on Facebook. So they'll talk about all of these points. So let's go to the listening track and let's see the order that they talk about these topics. So we need track 22, CD2, track 22, CD2, track 22. Okay, so let's listen. And here we go. Okay.
Track 22.
Ah, here are your drinks. We were lucky to get a table, weren't we?
Yes, it's always quite busy in here after work.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, how was the meeting?
Oh, it was quite boring, actually. Marcus went on about sales figures and cutting costs and stuff like that.
Right. Did you go to the meeting, Simon? Simon?
Oh, don't worry about him. He's probably updating his Facebook page, saying something fascinating like in pub with people from work or whatever.
Just because I'm online, it doesn't mean I can't hear you.
I can see why they don't allow people to go on Facebook in the office.
Yeah, what did Marcus call it? Social not working?
So how often do you go on Facebook, Simon?
Oh, I don't know. About 10 or 15 times a day, probably.
Really?
Yeah. All of my friends are on it, and I like to know what's happening to them.
Are you on Facebook, Jenny?
Yes, but I don't check it very often anymore. I used to do it all the time. It's very addictive. But I was spending hours and hours on it, and it wasn't as much fun as it used to be. And in the end, you're still just sitting on your own in front of a computer screen.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Actually, I thought it was damaging my friendships. I always knew what my friends were doing, so I never phoned them up for a chat or arranged to meet up with them. There didn't seem to be a reason to. Now I only check it once a week and try to meet up with friends face to face more often.
So how many friends do you have?
Do you mean real friends or Facebook friends?
Facebook friends.
Oh, I don't know. About 100, I think.
Is that all? I've got, let's see, 762. And even my sister's rabbit's got over 200 friends.
Which means your sister's rabbit is twice as popular as Jenny.
Exactly. Computers never lie.
Very funny.
What about you, Gary? Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not, but I'm on Twitter.
Oh, right. Do you tweet a lot?
No, but I like reading tweets from film stars and footballers and people like that.
And what about YouTube?
Yeah, I love YouTube. I can spend hours watching videos of baby animals.
Yeah, women love that sort of thing. My favourite YouTube videos are the ones of people having hilarious accidents.
Well, my wife posts videos of the children so our relatives can watch them.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about the internet. You can use it to share videos of your kids.
Or to tell your Facebook friends it's your turn to buy the drinks.
What? Oh, yeah. Okay then. Same again.
Okay, so let's put the topics they talked about in the correct order. So what's the first thing they talked about?
How Jenny uses Facebook.
Okay.
No.
No.
I think
Today's office meeting.
today is office meeting.
Okay. What's the second thing they talked about?
How use Facebook.
How often Simon goes
Yes,
on Facebook.
6.
Okay.
And how Jenny uses Facebook.
Use Facebook, yes, 2.
All right.
Number of
Number of
Facebook friends.
Mm-hmm.
and Twitter and Twitter.
Okay.
Yes.
Then video
And
YouTube.
All right. Okay, so before we listen again, we have another part of the question here. I want to see if you can remember the details now. So we need to decide which of these sentences are true, which are false. So all 3 people went to the meeting.
No, I think no.
No?
No.
Who wasn't at the meeting?
I think Jenny, yes?
Jenny wasn't at the meeting?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't
Yes, me too. I don't remember.
listen to the first one.
You didn't listen to the first part?
Because Gary asked Jenny about the meeting.
Okay, so
What I remember, I don't know.
Okay. And Simon, does he go on Facebook 5 times a day?
No, more than 5
More than, I
times.
think.
More? So,
15. 15, I think.
15.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Jenny doesn't use Facebook as much as she used
It's right,
to.
yeah. Right.
This means she
Yes,
used to use it
True.
more in the
Yeah.
past.
Mhm.
No, not more in the past. I don't know, but
You mean in the past more?
I don't know.
I don't know. But she don't use a lot Facebook.
Okay, so
Yes, and yeah,
let's leave it. We're not sure. Okay, number 4.
Mm.
She saw her
That's right.
friends. She
Yeah.
saw her friends more often because of Facebook. True or false?
yeah, I think she saw her friends more than Facebook.
She,
It means that.
She mentioned
Here,
Yeah.
because we're talking
like
about the effect of Facebook. Does she see her friends more because of Facebook
Yes.
or less?
she likes her friends to meet him face to face.
Yes.
Better
Okay.
Yeah.
use Facebook.
So let's leave it. We're not sure of the number 4. What about 5? Simon says that his
more, I
sister
think.
has more
Yeah.
Facebook friends than Jenny. Is this true?
Yeah.
Yes, about
No, I
700
don't
maybe.
remember.
You don't remember, Sana? Hajar thinks
No, I
it's
don't
true.
remember.
Balak, do you agree? Do you think this is true or false?
Yes, I think true.
Okay. Number 6, Gary likes following famous people on Twitter.
Yes,
Yes.
he used the Twitter.
No, Hajar, what do you think? Number 6.
Number 6.
Is it true or
Not
false?
true.
You think it's true? Okay. What about Simon? Does Simon
No,
watch?
it's true, I think. Yeah.
No, false.
No? False?
No, false. Yes, false.
Simon doesn't watch
Not
videos.
Simon.
Who watches
No, not
videos?
No, it's
Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny, yes.
Jenny. Use
Jenny.
yes, animals and
And his wife, I think.
but not Jenny, only Jenny. I think talked about the women's in general.
You talked about women in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's confirm these questions. Let's see if they're right or wrong. So I'm going to play the conversation one more time so you can take a look. So here we go.
Track 22.
Here are your drinks. We were lucky to get a table, weren't we?
Yes, it's always quite busy in here after work.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, how was the meeting?
Oh, it was quite boring, actually. Marcus went on about sales figures and cutting costs and stuff like that.
Right. Did you go to the meeting, Simon? Simon?
Oh, don't worry about him. He's probably updating his Facebook page, saying something fascinating like in pub with people from work or whatever.
Just because I'm online, it doesn't mean I can't hear you.
I can see why they don't allow people to go on Facebook in the office.
Yeah, what did Marcus call it? Social not working?
So how often do you go on Facebook, Simon?
Oh, I don't know. About 10 or 15 times a day, probably.
Really?
Yeah. All of my friends are on it, and I like to know what's happening to them.
Are you on Facebook, Jenny?
Yes, but I don't check it very often anymore. I used to do it all the time. It's very addictive. But I was spending hours and hours on it, and it wasn't as much fun as it used to be. And in the end, you're still just sitting on your own in front of a computer screen.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Actually, I thought it was damaging my friendships. I always knew what my friends were doing, so I never phoned them up for a chat or arranged to meet up with them. There didn't seem to be a reason to. Now I only check it once a week and try to meet up with friends face to face more often.
So how many friends do you have?
Do you mean real friends or Facebook friends?
Facebook friends.
Oh, I don't know. About 100, I think?
Is that all? I've got Let's see. 762. And even my sister's rabbit's got over 200 friends.
Which means your sister's rabbit is twice as popular as Jenny.
Exactly. Computers never lie.
Very funny.
What about you, Gary? Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not, but I'm on Twitter.
Oh, right. Do you tweet a lot?
No, but I like reading tweets from film stars and footballers and people like that.
And what about YouTube?
Yeah, I love YouTube. I can spend hours watching videos of baby animals.
Yeah, women love that sort of thing. My favourite YouTube videos are the ones of people having hilarious accidents.
Well, my wife posts videos of the children so our relatives can watch them.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about the internet. You can use it to share videos of your kids.
Or to tell your Facebook friends it's your turn to buy the drinks.
What? Oh, yeah. Okay then. Same again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Let's check
no.
our answers and let's fix some of our
Number
mistakes.
one, it's wrong. Yes, that's
Number
wrong.
one is
Not
false. Okay.
Jenny, just Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Simon, more than 5 times. It's wrong.
Okay.
Maybe 10, from 10 to 15
All
times
right.
a day.
Okay.
Jenny doesn't use as much. Yes, it's right.
You mean so it means in the past she used to use Facebook more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She saw it's right. Yes, more
Yes,
than
right.
before. Yeah.
More often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simon says that her sister has more Facebook. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Number
his
5,
sister. I think his sister is rabbit.
That's
Yes,
actually
I
correct.
hear it, Sister Rabbit, but I
Yeah.
don't
But
know.
it's
about
wrong.
they talked about friends.
But
Yeah,
they, yeah,
they mentioned rabbit.
About
That's why.
200.
Yeah.
they mentioned his sister's rabbit because they have a page for his sister's pet rabbit, and it has more than 200 friends.
Yes. So
So-
it's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, it's technically wrong, yeah, because it's about his sister's rabbit, not his sister. And what about number 6?
Yes, 6 is
True.
Wrong.
Yes.
Wrong.
It's wrong. He
Yeah.
doesn't like
Wrong.
them.
Gary likes following
Not
famous people or
following
on
famous
Twitter.
people, football and like them. Yeah.
Yes, the football players, famous people.
Yeah, famous people.
And film stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So these are famous people.
they
If
are
you're
famous people. Yes, that's right.
yeah. Okay, and number 7.
Not Simon. It's Jenny. Jenny.
It's
she watches
Jenny.
yeah.
Yeah, she
It's wrong,
loves
yes.
videos. Okay, correct. That's right. Yeah, so this is a conversation, and these are the points they talked about. Now, here, I don't want to waste too much time on this. So I'm just going to play it right away. So here, I just want you to pay attention to the different ways that we say these words, because there's a weak form and there's the strong form. So everybody's used to the strong form, right? Because if I ask you, can you read these? Most of you will say are, was, were, your, but, as, from, them, right? This is the normal way anybody reads these words, right? But this is called the strong form. And in real sentences, usually you don't hear the strong form. You're more likely to hear the weak form, okay? And the weak form is called weak because it has this sound, the schwa sound, which is an sound. So I'm just going to play it for you so you can see the difference.
Was, were, your, but, as, from, them, them.
Okay, so maybe you're wondering, so what? What's the difference? Why is this?
I think quicker, more.
Yes,
like,
it's
yes,
quicker,
more,
it's quicker, it's shorter, it's lighter.
shorter. Yeah.
So المهم بالنسبة لنا احنا كمتعلمين مش ضروري بنديروها بنفس الكيفية، لكن الفكرة اللي مهم لينا أن لما يتكلم النيتيف
Yes, listening.
ولما نديروا listening بالضبط حنعرف لما يقول was يقصد was، لما يقول مثلا your car يقصد your car. الفرق الوحيد أنه مش حتسمعها كاملة your car، في الغالب حتسمعوا your car. Your car is great, your car is nice, I really love your car.
It
لأن
means full form, yeah, and short form.
بالضبط هي short form، مرات يقولوا weak form، يسموا فيها weak form، لأن لو ما عليهاش stress في الغالب الكلمات هما مش حيكون عليهم stress، لأن stress عادة يخلوا فيه للكلمات المهمة، للnouns للverbs main verb، that main verb تلقوه واضح right. But in most words, most sentences مش واضح الموضوع. So now I want you to, in part T, listen to these 4 sentences. ولاحظوا نبيكم تركزوا which ones do you think are weak forms اللي حتسمعوهم سريعات، يعني ما فيهمش stress، اللي فيهم صوت الشواء اللي تكلمنا عليه توا. This is what we want to do now. Let's listen. So here we are, part C. So let me play it.
Track 24.
Here are your drinks. We were lucky to get a table, weren't we?
But I was spending hours and hours on it, and it wasn't as much fun as it used to be.
No, but I like reading tweets from film stars and footballers and people like that. Well, my wife posts videos of the children so our relatives can watch them.
All right. Did you see it? So who can tell me where are the weak forms if we want to? So here we have your drinks. Here are your drinks. What about your? Did he say here are your drinks or did he say here are your drinks?
Yes, short.
It's short. Your drinks. Here are your drinks. Correct. Did he say we were lucky or did he say we were lucky to get a table, weren't we?
Were.
So was it short or was it strong?
Short, yes. Short.
Yeah, weak form. It was weak form. We were lucky. We were lucky. We were lucky. We were lucky. Correct. Weren't we? But I was spending hours. But I was short. Both are short.
Yeah.
But ما قالتش but I was spending. She said but I was spending. And it wasn't as much fun. Did she say as much fun or did she say as much fun as it used to be? So it's actually short. Short. Weak يعني هي نفسها weak ولا short نفس الشيء. No, but I like reading tweets from film stars and footballers and people like that. Where are the weak forms? But is weak form. But I like. Did he say from or did he say from? From film stars and how did he say it?
From film stars. Weak form.
Yeah, weak form, correct. Well, my wife posts videos of the children, so our relatives can watch them.
Our relatives, I think.
Our relative.
No.
Our relatives, normal. But here I think the focus is on them. Did he say them or did he say them? Did you hear it clearly or not clearly?
Them.
Not clearly.
No.
Not clearly.
It's actually strong because it's the last word. Usually if it's the last word حتسمعوها كاملة. يعني بيكم تركزوا على الدم الأخيرة فقط. I'm going to play it just the last one.
Track those of the children so our relatives can watch them.
Did you hear it? Sorry, our relatives can watch them. So it's actually not a weak form because it's the last word in the sentence. Anyways, يعني هذه مجرد تنبيهات لقصة ال weak form, strong form. Now, work in groups, write a survey about the internet. Write at least 5 questions, use phrases on your own, blah, blah, blah. I think we can skip this. It's an extra exercise. Write at least 5 questions. Let's skip this. All right, now let's talk about direct and indirect questions. Can you tell me? This is a very interesting way in changing how we ask questions depending on the situation. So the point of this lesson is to change sentences from direct to indirect. So this means if you're talking to someone close, like family or friends, you can use direct speech or direct questions and direct points. But if you're talking to someone you don't know, or maybe a boss, things would change. So first of all, let me take you here to the first question. The first question is saying, the first question says, look at the photos. Where is Charlie in each photo? What do you think the people are talking about? All right, so where's Charlie in the first photo?
He mentioned, I think,
the right one.
I think on the picture, the name.
Yeah, here it is. Charlie is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where is he? What place is this? What's
He
he
was
doing?
at the office.
He's okay. So he's at work. He's in an office, maybe. And what's he doing exactly? What do you think he's talking about with Tanya? What are they talking about?
Maybe about job or about their job.
Do you think they're talking about the dishes and the laundry, maybe?
No.
Of course.
Maybe some files.
Maybe some files,
Maybe.
Emails, maybe reports, clients, that kind of thing, right?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I think. Okay. And here, where is Charlie in the second photo? Where is he?
At the kitchen.
Okay, so he's in the kitchen.
His home, I think.
Maybe it's his home. Yeah. So maybe Rebecca is his wife, right?
Maybe his sister or
maybe his sister, someone from the family. Wife?
No, his wife.
Maybe.
Wife.
Are you sure, Sana? His wife?
Yeah. From the beginning.
Did they invite you to their wedding?
No. Because they have
he is very angry
her.
and sad, so that's why maybe she's her wife.
Yeah, he doesn't look happy, so this means it's his wife for sure. Because if it's his sister, I think he'll be happy to see her. She's going to make him something, but
maybe tell him there is something she
no
needs.
food today.
Yeah, she told him, there's nothing.
I didn't cook.
No.
Yeah, go make yourself an egg. Make yourself a fried egg.
Yes, I think she prepared something because he.
But do you think
he comes back from the work?
He doesn't like for herself.
Yeah, maybe she made it for her friends and her, her mother and sister and, her family. And he's not going to get any of it, so he doesn't like it.
I think she didn't cook. Maybe that's he's angry.
Yeah.
No food in the kitchen.
Probably. But I think Sana is right, because if you remember in the previous lessons, we talked about Charlie and Rebecca.
Yes, and even they
have a child, Harry, right?
Harry, yes.
They also have a child, Harry.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. Because
they are family now.
The Harry.
We are family.
Yes.
Because they invite Sana and all their occasions. When Harry was born, they invited Sana. And on his first birthday, Sana brought a little gift for her.
Yeah, my friends now.
They're your friends, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's hear the both.
And always Rebecca tell me about Harry.
Yeah, she's always telling you he's growing up. Harry's walking now.
Yes.
And remember the lesson where they had a problem. Do you remember it? Where they
Yes, he didn't sleep very well. And
yeah.
Yeah.
And remember when Charlie was complaining that Rebecca was spending too much. ولا مش Rebecca
Yes.
Tanya شو اسمها. Maybe Rebecca, I can't remember. But I think they told you first before they told their other friends. They asked your advice and yeah. Okay, so now we want to listen. We want to listen to the first conversation. Let's see what's going on. What is he talking about with Tanya? And then we want to see what's he talking about with Rebecca. So let's listen. Let's find out.
Track 25. Conversation 1.
Hello, Tanya. Have you got a minute?
Hello, Charlie. Yes, of course. Take a seat.
Thanks.
Right. How can I help?
I just wanted to talk about next week's meeting with Sunspot Hotels. As you know, they're very important clients, and we need everything to go perfectly.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Jack and Melissa Johnson from Sunspot are flying over from the States on Monday.
Can you tell me when they're arriving?
They're arriving in London from New York at, let's see, 15:23.
Good. Do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room?
Yes, we have. Jenny's booked them into the Holiday Inn near the airport.
Fine. And the meeting's on Tuesday morning, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Could you tell me what time it starts?
It starts at 10 and should finish about 12:30. Then you and I are taking them for lunch at the Rose and Crown. You know, that lovely old pub by the river.
That's a good choice. And what about all the other people attending the meeting?
Jenny emailed everyone about it last week.
I think it's important that Barry Mackenzie should be there. He knows more about the American market than anyone else. Have you any idea if he's been invited?
I'm not sure.
Well, perhaps you could check.
Yes, I will.
Do you think we should email everyone again? You know, just to remind everyone.
Okay, I'll do that myself this afternoon.
Great. Okay, perhaps we should talk about our presentation. Do you want to talk about the new products, or shall I?
Conversation 2.
Hi, darling, I'm home.
Hello. Good day at work?
Yes, not bad, thanks. That smells good.
Don't get excited. It's for Harry, not for you. You haven't forgotten about his first birthday party on Saturday, have you?
No, of course not. What time does it start?
At 3 o'clock, but some people have said they'll be a bit late.
Right. Are your parents coming?
Yes, of course they are. They wouldn't miss their grandson's first birthday.
When are they arriving?
On Friday. It's a long way to come and they wanted to make a weekend of it.
Right. They're not staying here, are they?
No, we thought it would be easier if they didn't.
Have we booked them a hotel room?
Yes, I did it this afternoon.
Okay. So how many people are coming?
I'm not sure yet. Some people haven't replied.
Should we email everyone again?
Yeah, good idea.
What about your Uncle Bob?
What about him?
Has he been invited?
Of course. I know you don't get on with him, but he's family. Just try not to get into an argument with him this time.
I will. Perhaps you could ask him not to break my TV this time too.
That was an accident. Anyway, come and see what I've got Harry for his birthday.
Okay. So I think what you said is right, yeah. And the first conversation is mainly about work, meetings, I don't know, restaurant, something, right?
Yeah.
And in the second one, he's talking to his wife. Yeah, birthday.
About Henry's birthday.
Harry's birthday. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now what we need to do is we just need to choose the correct answers. Okay. So in conversation 1, the first sentence, it says, Charlie and Tanya are discussing, is it a meeting or is it a conference next week?
Meeting. Next week.
Okay.
Next week.
So you think it's a meeting. Okay. Their clients are arriving on Monday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday? From where?
Tuesday
from London or from New York?
London. From
From London.
Okay. And is it Monday or is it Tuesday?
I hear Tuesday, maybe Tuesday.
You heard Tuesday. Don't worry, because we're gonna listen
No,
again.
the Tuesday, I think the meeting will be the Tuesday morning.
Mm,
Yeah.
Maybe with the clients.
okay. So maybe Monday. We're not sure.
Monday.
Let's leave it
Yeah.
because we don't know. We need to listen again. All right. Then it says Charlie and Tanya are going to take the clients for lunch in a hotel or for
In a
lunch in a
hotel.
pub.
Hotel.
In a hotel.
Hotel, I think.
Okay.
And lunch, yeah.
Then it says Barry Mackenzie is definitely coming to the meeting. Barry Mackenzie might be coming to the meeting.
Might.
Might?
Because she didn't sure, yeah.
She's not sure. Okay. And the second conversation with his wife, Harry's first birthday party is at 1 o'clock or is it
3
at 3
o'clock.
o'clock?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3. Is
On
it on
Friday.
Friday or is it on Saturday?
Friday.
On Saturday. Saturday.
Friday?
Her parents they
Friday,
arrive
I
on
think.
Friday.
Okay, so we're not sure. Let's
Yes.
leave it.
Yes, parents will come on Friday. Yes.
The parents are coming on Friday and the party is on Saturday. Is that what you think, Sana?
Maybe, yes.
Maybe. All right. Then it says Rebecca's parents are staying with Charlie and Rebecca, or Rebecca's parents aren't staying with Charlie and Rebecca.
Aren't. Aren't.
Okay.
Yes.
Hajar thinks aren't.
No, aren't.
Do you agree, Sana Malak? Do you think her parents are not staying with them?
I don't catch this point.
You're not sure.
Yes.
Okay. Then it says they know how many people are coming. They don't know how many people are coming to the party.
Don't know.
They
Don't know. Because yes,
Some of them
the people
didn't
not
reply.
reply here.
Okay. So not everyone replied yet. Okay. Charlie gets on well with Rebecca's uncle. Charlie doesn't get on well with Rebecca's uncle.
Doesn't.
What does it mean to get on well or doesn't get on? What does this
Good
mean?
relationship. Good relationship.
That's it. So if you get on
He
well
doesn't
with someone,
like it.
you have a good relationship. If you don't, it means not a good relationship.
Yeah.
All right, so let's confirm your answers one last time. Let's find out. So here we go.
Track 25. Conversation 1.
Hello, Tanya. Have you got a minute?
Hello, Charlie. Yes, of course. Take a seat.
Thanks.
Right. How can I help?
I just wanted to talk about next week's meeting with Sunspot Hotels. As you know, they're very important clients, and we need everything to go perfectly.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Jack and Melissa Johnson from Sunspot are flying over from the States on Monday.
Can you tell me when they're arriving?
They're arriving in London from New York at, 15:23.
Good. Do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room?
Yes, we have. Jenny's booked them into the Holiday Inn near the airport.
Fine. And the meeting's on Tuesday morning, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Could you tell me what time it starts?
It starts at 10 and should finish about 12:30. Then you and I are taking them for lunch at the Rose and Crown. You know, that lovely old pub by the river.
That's a good choice. And what about all the other people attending the meeting?
Jenny emailed everyone about it last week.
I think it's important that Barry Mackenzie should be there. He knows more about the American market than anyone else. Have you any idea if he's been invited?
I'm not sure.
Well, perhaps you could check.
Yes, I will.
Do you think we should email everyone again? You know, just to remind everyone.
Okay, I'll do that myself this afternoon.
Great. Okay, perhaps we should talk about our presentation. Do you want to talk about the new products, or shall I?
Conversation 2.
Hi, darling, I'm home.
Hello. Good day at work?
Yes, not bad, thanks. That smells good.
Don't get excited. It's for Harry, not for you. You haven't forgotten about his first birthday party on Saturday, have you?
No, of course not. What time does it start?
At 3 o'clock, but some people have said they'll be a bit late.
Right. Are your parents coming?
Yes, of course they are. They wouldn't miss their grandson's first birthday.
When are they arriving?
On Friday. It's a long way to come and they wanted to make a weekend of it.
Right. They're not staying here, are they?
No, we thought it would be easier if they didn't.
Have we booked them a hotel room?
Yes, I did it this afternoon.
Okay. So how many people are coming?
I'm not sure yet. Some people haven't replied.
Should we email everyone again?
Yeah, good idea.
What about your Uncle Bob?
What about him?
Has he been invited?
Of course. I know you don't get on with him, but he's family. Just try not to get into an argument with him this time.
I will. Perhaps you could ask him not to break my TV this time too.
That was an accident. Anyway, come and see what I've got Harry for his birthday.
So, is it a meeting or a conference?
Meeting.
Yes.
Okay, and when are they arriving?
They arrive on Monday.
Monday.
That's right. And from where?
From London to New York.
Are you sure?
On Monday.
From arriving in New York.
They're arriving from New York.
Yes.
So they'll be in London on Monday, but they're coming from New York. هذه الفكرة. So arriving هنا بالطريقة هذه جايين أو قادمين. It's like coming. They're coming from. You get the idea. So here we don't mean arriving إن هم وصلوا. إن هم جايين من وين. This is what we mean by arriving. Like coming. Where are they coming from? Then it says Charlie and Tanya are going to the pub. Right. Correct. And then it says, what about Barry McKenzie? Is it correct? Is he definitely?
Yes, might, yeah.
He might come. It's not
sure. Yes.
It's not definite.
Yeah.
It's not definite. Right. Okay. The birthday party, is it at 3?
3. Yes.
3 o'clock. Yes. 3, yeah.
And Rebecca's parents, are they staying with them or not?
Not. Yes. It's correct.
And
But what about Friday and Saturday? I think Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
It's Saturday.
The party is on Saturday. But her parents arrive on Friday, but the party is on Saturday. Okay, and do they know how many people are coming?
Yes, don't know.
No, they
don't know. And Charlie, does he like Rebecca's uncle or doesn't like him?
No, he doesn't like.
That's it. That's correct.
بس طلع التلفزيون المرة اللي جاية في فتح.
Yes, that was accident.
he hates him. يوصف مرته يقول لها باش يكسر حتى المرة هذه باهي.
الراجل يدفع وخلاص هي مالها يكسروا.
يا مسكين Charlie, poor Charlie. Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Yeah, he's a businessman, and he has to deal with this rubbish from his wife's family. You see, men are always in difficult situations because of their wives and their wives' family. You know, we're victims in marriage. Everybody says that men. It's always men's fault, but I think we're victims. Usually, it's usually not our fault. You know, we're trying to be good husbands, good fathers.
Yes, that's good.
But it's not easy.
Yes, and good relationship with family's wife.
Yeah, with the wife's family. Yeah, but it's a challenge. Okay, so before we do number 2 and check the answers, I think we should maybe have a little prayer break first, and then we can finish what's left of the exercises.
Yes.
All right, so let's have a little break, and I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, hi.
Hi.
Who's back? Okay, Sana's back.
Hello.
Hi, okay, so
Yeah,
everyone's
hello.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we finished the first part. We listened to the 2 conversations. So now we have in question number 2, it says here, put these questions in the order you hear them. I think we already did this. Okay, so let's see if you can remember from the first conversation, because Tanya and Charlie, they actually, all of these things, I think Charlie asked all of the questions, if I'm remembering right. Tanya just answered him and he made all the questions. But what we want to do is we just want to put the questions in order. Can you remember the first question that he asked Tanya? What was the first question he asked? Can you remember?
Can you tell me when they are arriving?
Okay. Maybe. Let's put number 1 there. What about question number 2?
Could you tell me what time it starts?
Okay.
Oh no. Do you know whether we have booked them a hotel room?
Is this the first question or the second?
The second.
I think the first question, do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room?
Maybe.
Okay.
Then can you tell me when they're arriving?
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe number 2 is A. Could you tell me what time it starts?
No, this is
This is number 3.
Number 3.
But C and D, I think one of them is opposite of the other.
It's okay. By the way, if we don't get them in the right order, it's not a big issue, because in the next question we're gonna try to compare the style of questions, because in the next exercise you will notice that there's a bit of a difference in the way that Charlie asked his questions to Tanya and the way that he asked his wife. There's a bit of a difference. This is, I think, the real focus of the lesson. So even if we don't get the right order exactly right, don't worry too much, okay? Okay, but what do you think the 4th question was?
Have you any idea if he's been invited?
Okay, yeah, this is when they talked about Mackenzie, right? And yeah, the email is the last thing. Yeah, they asked about the email. All right, so let's do the same thing for the second conversation, when Charlie kept asking his wife all these questions. Can you remember the order that he asked his questions in the second conversation?
What time does it start?
Okay.
Then when are they arriving?
They're arriving.
Okay.
Should be.
Have we booked them a hotel room?
Okay.
Should we email everyone again?
Should we email everyone again?
All right.
Then has he been invited? Her uncle.
All right. Okay. Now let's move to the more important question. So in the more important question in part B, let me just see if there's another part of it. Yeah. So what they want you to do is they want you to match each one with the other one from the top. So for example, could you tell me what time it starts? Can we match it to the same question in the bottom?
Yes. What time does it start?
That's right. So G. Let's write G. That's correct. What about this question? Have you any idea if he's been invited?
Has he been invited?
Exactly right. So this is I. Can you tell me when they're arriving?
When are they arriving?
Right. This is F. And then we say, do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room?
Have we booked them a hotel room?
Yeah.
Right. Do you think we should email everyone again?
Should we email everyone again?
That's right. Okay, now we matched them, so the meaning matches, but what do you think is the difference really between the way Charlie asked because he basically asked the same thing, right? In the conversation 1 and conversation 2, he asked the same things, but he didn't do it in the same way. So what did he do?
Yes.
What do you think happened?
Indirect way.
In a polite
more
way.
polite, maybe.
That's exactly right. When he was talking to Tanya, he made all his questions kind of indirect, right? And when you do that, the questions sound they sound a little more polite, right? When you do it in this style. So all the questions were not, they weren't direct. But with his wife, how did he make his questions? Is there anything wrong with the second group of questions?
No, but it's direct.
That's it.
It's informal. Yeah.
Exactly right. They're too direct, right? They're just, it's the way that you would talk to your friend or your family, or maybe someone who you have a normal personal relationship with, right? Husband, wife. But the first group, can we use it with family and husbands and wives and?
No, and it's more polite.
It's a little too
Being
formal, right?
strange.
It's a little strange.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit strange. All right, so this is basically the idea. And in exercise 3, they want to talk a little more about this. Indirect and direct questions. So after we saw the difference between both of them, they want us to take a look at this rule and choose the right answer. So it says, in more formal situations, we often use indirect or direct questions because they sound more polite. Which one do we use? Do we use the
indirect?
Right. That's correct. That's right. The indirect questions are more polite. Okay, then they want us to take a look again at the first group, and it says, notice the phrases in blue that we use to introduce indirect questions. Then choose the correct word in these rules. So this means we need to go up again. Let's scroll up again. And let's focus on the blue words. So can you see all of the, not words, the phrases, the blue phrases? Could you tell me?
Yes.
Have you any idea? Can you tell me? Do you know? Do you think?
You think.
Okay, so let's see what they want us to do exactly. It says, choose the correct word or phrases in these rules. So the rules are all about, excuse me, all about the blue phrases. Let's see. First rule, it says, we use if or whether in indirect questions when there is or when there isn't a question word. Means we need to go back. So they're asking here, they're asking about questions which have اللي فيهم الإف واللي فيهم الوذر. هذا اللي يسأل عليهم. But let's go back and check the question one more time. شنو قال لك؟ we use if or whether. Sorry. We use if or whether in indirect questions when there is or isn't a question word. So let's check. Do we have a question word in these two sentences, or we don't have a question word?
We don't have. Maybe do here question word.
Do you?
Or it means what and where and
yeah, they're talking about WH question words.
There isn't.
Yeah, there isn't.
Exactly, right? There's no WH words here. It's just it's a yes no question, but there's no WH, there's no what, no which, no when, why.
Yeah.
We haven't used any of those. So this means first question, we use if and whether if there
without
isn't.
the question.
Yeah, so there isn't a question mark. All right, so again, it says in indirect questions, if and whether are the same, or if and whether are different. I think we need to go back again.
I think the same.
Let's take a quick look. Have you any idea if he's been invited? Have you any idea whether he's been invited? Do you know if we've booked them a hotel room? Do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room? Do you feel it's the same, or do you feel it's different?
The same.
Same?
Whether,
Okay, let's choose the same because we're gonna check the summary anyway. So
I think different.
you think different?
Yeah.
How do you think they're different? In which way?
In meaning, maybe.
Okay, but how? How are they different in meaning? In which way?
In meaning, it means if, لو. And whether it means إذا لو nothing.
Sorry?
I think in the meaning it's different in the sentence. I don't know.
Okay, so we're not sure of this. No worries. Okay, let's check the third rule. It says we use or don't use if or whether with do you think. Do you think? So let's take a look at the question of do you think. Can you see the do you think question? This is the last question. So do we use if and whether for do you think?
No.
No.
Can we? Can we use if or whether with do you think? Can you say do you think if we?
It's used when do you know, not do you think.
Okay,
Whether.
but I'm trying to see if we can use it with do you think. Do you think whether? No. That's correct. We cannot use it. So this means we only have the second rule that we're not sure of, and we need to check it. But before we do that, this time they want us to look at the pink phrases, and then they need us to answer the rule, because we also have a group of rules here in part C. So let's take a look at the pink phrases. It starts, he's been invited. Okay, it starts, he's been invited, they're arriving, we've booked, we should email. So these are the pink phrases. Let's see the question. The question says, in indirect question, the main verb is in the positive form or the main verb is in the question form. So let's look here and let's see the main verb. In which form is it? Is it
positive?
Yeah, it's positive.
Yeah, right. Do you see?
Yeah.
They're arriving. We've booked. So it's not in the question form, because if it's in the question form, we cannot use the S here. It starts, right?
Yeah.
They're arriving. We can use the, because if it's a question form, حيكون has he been invited? وبدل they're arriving حتكون are they arriving? وبدل we've booked حتكون have we booked, right? هذا لو كان question form. But all of them here are in the positive form. So this means it's in the positive form, not in the question form. Okay, so it still sounds a little strange. I think we need to clarify it by checking the summary and checking all this information together, checking our answers, and also seeing if we have any important tips we need to talk about. So let's go there and let's take a look. So here we want to focus on ability. Oops, sorry, not ability, on direct and indirect speech. So it says here, excuse me, it says here, in more formal situations, We use indirect speech, okay, because it sounds more polite. Could you tell me what time it starts? Sounds more polite than what time does it start? هذا اتفقنا فيه. So this is kind of clear. Then it says indirect question phrase. So you can use these phrases to start your indirect questions. And then you can use if, the question word. It's up to you. So sometimes, not up to you, sorry. There are two ways to do this. You can use a question word, here with WH, what, when, what time, whether, when, and whether and if. So it says we use whether and if in indirect questions when we don't have a question word. We don't use if and whether بالنسبة لل with do you think, you cannot use if and whether. حتى هذه جاوبناها صح. The main verb is in the positive form. In indirect questions, we still have this point. Are they the same or are they different?
The same.
The
not
same,
different.
yeah. The same.
That's it. They are the same. If you're using them in indirect questions, هيكون معناهم the same. So there's no difference. Let's see if we have any other tips. خلاص هو هذا. All right, so that's it. There's nothing else to talk about here. It just says that if and whether we use them when you don't have a WH word. لأن لو عندك مش هتقدر تستعملهم if and whether. The meaning is the same for the indirect speech. If you use do you think, you cannot use if and whether. And indirect questions هيكون the main clause بتاعهم هيكون in the positive verb form. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see if we can do an exercise and use all of these ideas, and it will make it a lot clearer. Let's do that. So here we are. Let's skip this intonation part. We'll come back to it later. But let's do this. It says here, put the words in order to make indirect questions. Can you see exercise number 6 here? Can you see this? Yeah. All right, so take a minute. Excuse me. Take a minute and let's try to organize. Let's put these words in order so we can make out indirect questions. Take a few minutes, and when you're ready, let me know. Okay, are you ready? Or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm finished.
All right. Sana, are you ready too?
Me too.
Not
I'm
yet.
finished.
Not yet for me.
Okay.
Okay, so let's leave the last ones for Sana. And we can start with Malak and Haj. Okay, so Malak, can you do number 2 for us?
Do you think the meeting will be at Elizabeth tomorrow? Yeah. Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think the meeting will be at
Okay.
Elizabeth tomorrow? Or
Okay, there's... But Elizabeth, is it a place?
maybe I don't know.
Elizabeth is
Okay.
a...
Do you think Elizabeth? Do you think Elizabeth will be will be at tomorrow?
We'll be at the meeting tomorrow.
At the meeting tomorrow, yes.
That's it. Can you say it from the beginning, Malak?
Do you think Elizabeth will be at the meeting tomorrow?
That's it. What about number 3, Haja?
Okay. Could you tell me? Could you tell me how long has been working here?
Correct. But how do we say he has when we contract it?
How long
The order is correct. I'm just asking about the pronunciation.
Yeah. As
He's.
he is okay.
Okay, so can you do it from the beginning?
Okay. Could you tell me how long he's been working here?
That's it. Could you tell me how long he's been working here? Okay, so now what about number 4?
Okay. uh, do you know when Asma and Ali are going on holiday?
That's it. That's correct. But it's not Asma, it's Ismail.
Ismi. Okay, okay.
But Asma, it's okay. If you want, Asma isn't a problem. Okay. But it's correct. What tertib is correct.
Yes.
All right, nice. What about number 5, Malak?
Okay. Have you any idea if Wayne went away last weekend?
That's correct. Have you any idea if Wayne went away last weekend? Okay. Hajar, what about number 6?
Can you tell me whether this train goes to Manchester?
That's it. Can you tell me whether this train goes to Manchester? Yeah. So this is a little practice on how to make indirect questions, how to make it sound more formal and more polite. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing in number 7a. It's the same idea, but this time there's no words to choose from. We need to make a few changes ourselves. So maybe it's better if I show you both pages. From the rule, I think maybe it's better. Let me show you both pages. So maybe we need to zoom out a little bit. Okay. Okay. But no problem. So here, what we need to do is change these direct questions, make them into indirect questions. Do you get the idea of the question? So here on هم اللي عاطينهم لك هو direct question. We have to make it indirect. So take a few minutes, think a little bit about this. If you need me to move the page to check, just ask me and I'll take you back to the top here. Can you see these? The blue and pink ones? Because you have to use the same technique or the same idea here. You need to do it in exercise 7. It's the same thing. Do you get the idea? So if you need to check, just let me know and I can move the page so you can take a look and go back. All right? So you can start.
Can you change the page, please?
Yes. Let's move it.
Can you tell me?
Actually, I have a good idea that will help you a lot, make it a little easier. Let me just screenshot it.
Tell me.
Okay, so just give me a second. Let me this way. Okay, so now I'm just going to
Okay, you can.
I can go back.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go back, but this time I have a better idea.
Okay, I finished.
You finished? That's great.
Yes.
Okay, let me put this for you. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So let me go down. Let me show you number 7. And now you have this. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. So this way you can see both of them at the same time. Are you ready, Malak, Hajar, or just Sana? Okay, so Sana, you can start first.
Okay. Okay. Do you know if there is a book shop near here?
Right, okay. Malak, what about number 2?
Could you tell me where? Could you tell me how I go to the station? Could you tell me how it gets the station? I get the station. I get the station to the station.
Okay. What do you need to do here?
About could you tell me? We put the question word how. Then subject.
Okay.
I.
Okay.
How I.
Uh-huh.
Then the verb get.
Okay.
How I get to the station.
Okay, correct. Can you tell me how I get to the station? Is this the same answer you have, Sana?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Can you tell me how I get to the station? Or with maybe how to get. You don't even need to use I think. You could say how I get. How to get. Can you tell me how to get? I don't know. You can also say, can you tell me how to get? Sorry, could you tell me how to get to the station? Could you tell me how I get to the station? بالضبط يعني how I get. بس في الأوبشن هذا حتى how to get. Could you tell me how to get? يمشي الحال. But it's correct. Could you tell me how I get to the station? Hajar, what about number 3?
Should I give a taxi tip? Do you think I should give a taxi drivers a tip?
Okay, one more time.
Do you think
Hmm.
I should give a taxi drivers a tip?
That's it. Do you think I should give taxi drivers a tip? Correct. Okay, what about number 4, Sam?
Have you any idea what time the bank close?
Correct. Have you any idea what time the banks close? Right. And the last one, what did you do, Malak?
Can you tell me where the post office is the nearest?
Not
Or where is
exactly.
the nearest post office?
Yes, can you tell me where's the nearest post office? Or I think you can also say, can you tell me where the nearest post office is?
Yeah.
You can keep is at the end. Can you tell me where the nearest post office is? Can you tell me where's the nearest post office? I think you can do it both ways. All right, so I hope you get the idea here of how to use indirect questions. They make the grammar of the sentence kind of complicated if you think of it, but you know, it does sound more polite. So we'll continue with this, of course, in our next lesson. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about this, or get or have turns. We will also listen to the intonation, because if you're asking an indirect question, you need to sound polite as well. So just saying the question itself without sounding polite, I don't think it's enough. Then we're going to talk about pronunciation. We'll talk about rhythm. I'll also tell you what rhythm means. So we'll talk a little bit about this, and hopefully we can also talk about our next topic, our next lesson.
What?
Yes, which is
What about the order?
What order?
Because we skipped one, I think. Yes. Number 2A, because we do the order, but we don't know if it's correct or not.
You mean 6A?
No, 2A.
The order of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it. We can check it from the script. Let's take a look at the script.
Because we did it, but we don't know it's correct or not.
You're right, we didn't check it. Okay, let's check it. Let's go to the script.
Yeah.
So CD2, track 25. This is CD1, CD2, 25. So here it is, CD2, 25. C2, here it is. This is 20, and here's the conversation, 25. So the first one is, hello Charlie, have you got a minute? Can you tell me, this is the first one, can you tell me when they're arriving? So أول حاجة إنه على arrival, okay? Can you tell me when they're arriving? After that, he said, do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room? So he asked about hotels next. Do you know whether we've booked them a hotel room?
Yes.
And after that, he asked, could you tell me what time it starts? Because after that, they started talking about the meeting. Could you tell me what time it starts? Then, what did they talk about? Could you tell me what time it starts? Blah, 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 blah. And what about all the people? This is a
Have
normal
you
question.
any idea if he's been invited?
Yeah, there it is. Have you any idea? This is number 4. Have you any idea if he's been invited? And the last question, number 5, is about emails. Do you want?
The last one.
Where is it? Do you think we should? Yeah, here it is. Do you think we should email everyone? This was the last question. So this was the correct order. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this means we'll meet again on Monday and we can talk a little more about this. But my advice is, if you can, do the workbook, check the workbook, because it will help you so you can get an idea how to work with indirect questions. All right. So thank you for your time. Have a good night and see you on Monday.
Assalamu alaikum.
Bye bye.